I spent $1,200
I can tell you about a time Crystal and Paul and Sarah Pickens and I all went to Vegas.
Are we there?
I landed at 8 p.m.
You can get in their card.
I think I lost all $15,000 and I was on the next flight out. I think I even had to borrow $20 to get to the airport that day.
You know what you can get for $15,000 an hour?
Jeez. It was like,
You can fly Tony Robbins, I
I ran into Brenda, who's the CEO of Remax Results.
think.
I'm in my swim shorts and flip flops while all the Remax Results agents are going back and forth to this convention. And here's Hatham. Just doing his thing, enjoying Vegas, enjoying the Remax convention.
Louder's better.
Louder's better? All right.
Should we talk more this way?
You can position yourselves however you'd like. The shot looks good.
Okay.
It's just going to be a matter of making sure everyone can hear you.
Cool.
I'm getting feedback. Is anybody on?
Yep, a lot of people are joining.
Besides my mom.
The only question, so do you want questions?
Yeah.
Do you want me to MC
I'm in.
this
Yeah.
back here?
I mean, I would have seen it, but my phone's over there.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
All right, we'll keep an eye out.
all right.
The first question is, why is the table so big? Because
No, I'm just small.
What's up, Wally?
How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm cautiously optimistic about your podcast debut. I kind of feel like, as much as you hate them, it's gonna be such a dopamine hit that you're gonna be a weekly podcaster.
Do you know the anxiety I am going through right now, not checking my phone at my DraftKings lineup?
Yeah.
This is going to be my one and only podcast ever.
Okay.
I mean, I might not even have a real estate license after this, but I'm going to try it. Hey, and by the way, everyone watching, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Are you
By
talking to the Minnesota Association of Realtors?
Well, I'll just say, anybody who might get offended, this is entertainment purposes only. I am sorry if I hurt your feelings.
No, you're not.
You can take it up with my mom later, but this is just for fun. We're gonna try to give you guys some information and what's going on in real estate and all that good jazz.
So, first off, thank you everyone for joining, hopping on here. Hatham and I we went to high school together. We co-founded a tech startup together, but we talk on the phone, collaborate, and commiserate. It's like a mini support group, probably 5 to 6 days a week. And so what we're gonna do is share some of the topics that we discuss on an almost daily basis.
Yep.
And these things are gonna range from how to revive downtown Minneapolis, what happened to Uptown, the NAR Commission lawsuits. We're going to talk about rates. We're going to talk about inflation. We're going to talk about and touch on commercial real estate. We're going to talk about what Hatham does and actually how successful he is, even though he doesn't post any of his awards. I'm going to expose him for the success that he is.
No.
And then I think, and then take some questions as well. So hopefully everyone can hear. If you can't, you'll have to look for the recording after the fact. And this is hosted and sponsored by, they don't know that they're sponsoring this, but Agent Media.
Love it.
And they have a fantastic new podcast setup with a really big table.
I was about to ask you for $200 to help pay for this. So they're sponsoring?
No, you're paying for it. You're the one that makes all the money.
No, come on, bro. I thought you were taking care of this.
They're sponsoring it. I just told them that they are. So Agent Media,
We'll figure it out.
they
We'll figure it
do.
out.
Agent Media does all my listing photo shoots. They do my virtual tours. They do some social media action for me, and then I've been on their podcast as well. Brand new podcast studio. This place kind of has a brick and mortar feel to it. It's got a vibe. So congrats to you guys for getting this set up. And this is Hatham's podcast debut.
One and only.
And he's going to retire from podcasts after this as well. So it's the Hatham I Hate Podcasts podcast. and we're gonna get going. And I'm gonna dive right in. This is a topic that me and Haytham have talked about for a decade, and there's really no filter. But what happened to Uptown, and how does it come back?
What happened to Uptown? $2 drinks.
Yep.
I think once you start offering $2 drinks and stuff like that, you're gonna get wild crowds to come in,
Mm-hmm.
and it sort of eliminates the vibe of the whole Uptown feel that it had.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of people talk about Uptown like Uptown in the '80s, Uptown in the '90s, vintage shops, great restaurants, coffee shops, diners. I mean, you go back to the
Local.
you go back to Independent, you go back to even cafeteria at its time, Chino Latino. I mean, Uptown used to be the bee's knees, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you and I used to go running around Uptown, mid 2000s, all the way through 2018, 19, before COVID, before the riots, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think once you start implementing, you can see the difference with like a North Loop versus an Uptown. North Loop, they targeted the higher end restaurants, higher end drinks, higher end retail,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of, as you can say, it's just like anything. If you add a value proposition, the value's gonna stay higher.
Yep.
When
It's
you
going to
go-
attract a certain type of clientele, but also there's no chains in North Loop, right? And the majority of the restaurants that are there, if they are a chain,
Correct.
it's just a handful of them.
Correct.
But when Calhoun Square and then across the street went to American Apparel, Victoria's Secret, North Face, Arc'teryx, Urban Outfitters, whatever else,
Yeah.
all those were national chains. So as soon as they weren't invested in the neighborhood, they were just invested in their P&L. And as soon as things got challenging, Apple.
Yeah.
How many Apple stores have closed after opening
Hey,
throughout the U.S.?
don't knock it. I've been with you when we've had to hit up a couple of H&M stores to pick up last minute outfits to go on the boat.
True.
I mean, there's been times.
And also Atmosphere,
Hey, exactly.
which now is in the North Loop.
Yeah, I remember when we had to go get those last minute gifts,
Still.
those last minute outfits, so we could go right from the boat to Uptown or Chino Latino.
But one thing that people don't realize, and they think that like the demise of Uptown was because of the riots, what happened with George Floyd and everything else. But I remember talking to my original mentor, Jim Guerin, and I said, we're seeing a lot more broken car window glass. We're seeing a lot more transient people. We're seeing a lot more graffiti. And this is in 2015, 2016, 2017. So there was starting to be a shift. And then when the riots hit, it just kind of explodes everything. And now it's not walkable. There's no parking there. There's a bike lanes and bus lanes, and
Yeah.
people just rip.
I'll give you one solution to fix Uptown right now.
There it is.
You shut down Hennepin from 20th to 30th. You shut it down, make no traffic on that road, open it up to bars, restaurants, make it like Little Italy type feel in San Diego. You shut down Hennepin Avenue, you give it back to the business owners.
Gas plant.
You give it back to the business owners, the restaurant owners, the bar owners. Make it a
Music.
make it a year-round art festival, or that's how you fix Uptown.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And once the people come back and people feel like they're enjoying it there, everything comes back.
Makes a big difference. People feel safer, right?
Yeah.
And what people will push back, well, San Diego is year-round sunshine, 12 months out of the year, but the district in Kansas City has this.
Yeah.
There are certain areas in like the Midwest that have little bits of it, but even if it was like a 3 or 4 block where people had to drive around, there's no buses that are going through, and it's a lot more pedestrian friendly.
And here's the thing, I'm not an expert, but I can definitely tell you that Minneapolis City Council, expertise is not in business, it's not in hospitality.
No.
You because when you look at what can be done to fix some of these, boroughs in Minneapolis or areas, I mean, there's a lot that can be done. But our city council, and I'm friends with some of them used to work for my family. I used to work for their family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it, but I think they're dropping the ball big time with things that can be done. I mean, it's almost 2025. There's new ways to start making, these urban
To revitalize.
areas. Absolutely, absolutely.
But I don't think that they're talking to the people that are actually out patronizing, either currently or used to, like we used to. I mean, I barely go through uptown.
Yeah.
I'll drive through to get to wherever I'm going, but it's rare that I stop there, and I don't shop there. But there isn't anything that's there. So let's switch downtown.
Hey, I love Minneapolis. I remember Minneapolis from 2000 to 2005 was a vibe. The cops were on horseback, and I mean, every restaurant and bar and nightclub in early 2000s
Warehouse.
it was a place to be. You had lines all around the corner, 200-300 people. You had the drink. You had Preston's. You had
Rosen's.
Rosen's. That's what
Brothers.
Rosen's Brothers.
Boone.
Imperial Group. You had so many different spots to go to, and they were all full. And I think it has to do with safety. I think the defund the police thing was a major fail.
Mm-hmm.
I think Minneapolis and Minnesota's need to actually take control back, and it's sort of like I want to put we have the police on own and sort of. And my problem is a lot of these dumbass kids grew up on Grand Theft Auto that are sort of ruining the city.
Mm-hmm.
And
a big part.
that's why I'm really big on coaching youth sports and mentorship and stuff like that, because I really think a lot of these young kids who are causing, and I think it's about 1,000 kids in total that are causing 95% of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get that under control, we can have downtown Minneapolis back, we can have uptown back, you'll be able to revitalize North Minneapolis. I think the money's there. Minneapolis and Minnesota has more money in it than Fortune 500 companies. It's there.
It's just where is it allocated?
Yeah, you gotta make it feel safe. You gotta make it feel enjoyable. I mean, you got people coming from all over the world. I mean, we've got the gymnastics U.S. qualifiers coming into town. Hopefully, we'll have WWE WrestleMania coming into town.
Major.
I mean, we're gonna have a ton of things,
Got the
but
venues for it.
we got the venues, we've got the restaurants, we've got the hotels, And again, the same thing I said about Hennepin Avenue, you can do with Nicollet Mall. I mean, you shut down Nicollet Mall for buses and just turn it into an entertainment district. I think that's what
They
Minneapolis
sunk a
is.
ton of money into it and took away the walkability because there's buses that are just, who wants to sit on a sidewalk cafe table, have lunch or dinner with buses driving by that are as close to you and I with exhaust billowing out while they're doing it, and then a lot of transient people as well. So I mean, I think there's ways where you can stop the public transportation that is running through the main thoroughfare where there's the restaurants and the shopping and the bars and all that kind of stuff.
Again, it's Minneapolis City Council.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if they look at it at more of a business and hospitality, mindset.
I think that's what it
And
needs to be.
Mayor Fry, French Fry, whatever his name is. I think it has to be looked at, hey, how can we get more businesses here? How can we have people have fun? Maybe take the people who are having fun and put them in power and let them make the decisions. We know what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our restaurant owners that they battle with the city to stay open, as far as the fees, the licensing, the fines that they end up paying, the taxes that they end up paying.
Less regulation.
Yeah.
That's coming from a guy who is really middle of the road.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself Democrat, I don't consider myself conservative, but less regulation on some of these businesses. Same thing with real estate. We're not seeing as much new construction going on in Minneapolis or Hennepin County due to the permits, the cost of permits, the nightmare it takes for truth in housing, the nightmare it takes.
Is that a question?
Oh, yeah.
No, the phone locked. I need the code.
Don't let my girlfriend.
And I didn't want you to say it on camera.
Just kidding. Don't let my girlfriend get a.
Is it still live?
Well, he asked,
Yeah.
but it timed out and we can't see it.
Mine's all threes.
Can you check my DraftKings and tell me what my lineup is?
Yeah, one
I'm
second.
just kidding. You know, but
So to that point, I am currently in the process of adding a third unit to a duplex. The permit fees, are a percentage of what the overall scope of the work is. And the idea behind this is the Minneapolis 2040 plan. So you increase density to make housing more affordable because there's more units that come online. The fees, independent of the permit, were $8,500 for one unit
yeah,
in Minneapolis. And this was, so let me break them down for you. One is park accessibility fee of $1,700. So they can go to the park, I guess.
yeah.
Like one more person going to the park cost me $1,700 in fees, totally independent of permit. Then sewer accessibility fee, $2,500. So for the toilet and the sink that was already down there, but since it's a separate unit, $2,500 one-time fee. And then there was something else, some other fee, a total of $80 some odd $100 for one unit. Do you think I'm gonna make that an affordable housing unit?
Well, and here's the
You
thing.
can't with the fees, and then taxes gone up 24% in the last 2 years.
My solution to affordable housing and housing in general in Minneapolis and Hennepin County is you have a permit holiday. So any new construction, any remodels, anything that is going to happen in this city of Minneapolis or surrounding, you have a holiday on those permit fees. I mean, if a builder can come in and say, hey, I can save $15,000 on a new construction by not having to pay a permit fee, that they'll start building 10 homes. That's an extra $150,000 in the pocket.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think that right there will help increase supply of homes in Minneapolis.
Density.
Density, and newer homes, safer homes.
Mhm.
I mean, I've been in Minneapolis. I've been in a lot of Minneapolis homes. There's some scary homes out there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some scary homes.
And there's people that want to invest to clean these homes up.
Well,
and provide.
I've got 10 people that I know right now that will buy homes in Minneapolis and revitalize them and put them back on the market, rent them out. If the permit fees, if the inspection process wasn't a nightmare.
The numbers just don't make sense.
Bro, they've got like 4 different inspectors on a remodel project. You got your electrical inspector, you got your HVAC inspector, you got your framing inspector, you got your traditional just building inspector. It's like, why can't they just have 2 people do the whole thing?
Yep.
Like, I was remodeling a house in South Minneapolis. I had literally 5 different inspectors walk through there.
And then they're not available
It's the
on a
worst.
regular basis. And also, since I'm going from 2 units to 3 units, they're considering it commercial. Even though underwriting, if you were to buy it, it's not a commercial property.
To all my investors who I'm selling homes to in Minneapolis, ignore this part. No, but what I'm saying is I'm not trying to shy people away from buying in Minneapolis.
No,
It's just a nightmare. But I mean, there's opportunity there, but it's a nightmare
But it eliminates a lot of potential deals.
for investors.
You have to filter out a lot more.
Absolutely.
Where somebody might do 6 or 7 deals in a year, the challenges that the city poses, you end up doing 2 or 3 deals, right? You're still doing deals. You're still, turning places around,
Absolutely.
but just not as many as you could.
Absolutely.
Especially with the amount of capital that some of the people that you work with have.
Yeah, and the thing is there's areas and properties and neighborhoods and pockets that are absolutely phenomenal. I love Minneapolis. I'm ride and die Minneapolis. I got friends who keep talking about, oh, Chicago, Austin, Scottsdale, Miami.
They're gonna boomerang. They'll
Fuck,
boomerang.
fuck Miami. All right. Nothing beats Minnesota. Every time I go out and leave Minnesota, they talk about how great Minnesotans are, how hot Minnesota women are. You know what? Then I got my buddies who will fly across the country to go to Miami. Screw that. You know, Minneapolis is phenomenal. It is awesome.
There's a lot of opportunity, but
There
and
is.
the thing is, we knew in 16, 17, 18, Minneapolis was one of the top 5 hottest cities in the entire country.
Yep.
As far as real estate is concerned, as
Yep.
far as local, Midwest, national, and international attention. When you talk about the NCAA Final Four was here, the Super Bowl obviously was here.
You had both Big Ten tournaments this year.
Mhm.
I mean, women's and men's.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. It's just that I feel like we're handcuffed right now, and it's really challenging. So,
Speaking of sports, how about that Anthony Edwards, bro?
uh,
Hey, I called from, like, I've been ride and die Minnesota. I mean, ever since J.R. Ryder, Christian Laettner, I mean, I've been ride and die Minnesota Timberwolves. So this is awesome. This is awesome.
what's the prediction versus Denver?
I'm saying we win it in 6.
I like it.
We win day 1,
Split.
they win game 2,
Come back here.
come back here, 2, 3, they win 5, we win 6. That's my prediction.
Love it.
Now, the worst gambler in the world. Ask anybody. I am the worst gambler in the world.
Which is the reason why you're on this podcast.
Which means,
You lost the bet.
we might get swept. But no.
So let's we're gonna bring it back to real estate.
All right.
2 things.
Yeah.
Why do you hate real estate agents? And what do you see
All right.
second half of 2024?
I
These
don't-
are 2 different ones.
I don't hate real estate agents. I hate what real estate agents have become.
Mhm.
And this podcast is a
This
perfect
is-
example.
This is a fantastic.
This is a perfect example of what I've hated what real estate agents have become. Everybody wants to be a motivational speaker, podcast celebrity, TikTok superstar. And I mean, no offense, we're both guilty of it. You're guilty of it, I'm guilty of it. You know, and we should not be worried about how many likes and clicks we're getting on TikTok or views, or we should be figuring out how to get the next deal for our buyers or investors, things like
Solve
that.
problems.
Solve problems.
So if you're on a podcast, should there be a minimum production level in order for you to be able to do something like this?
Here's the deal. I mean, even like if you look my stats up, the numbers on the MLS and stuff like that aren't the highest, but it's because 90% of, or I should say 90, I'd say about 75% of my business now is all off market. And I'm not going to judge anybody about, you know, if they've got a true message that they have experience in, sure, share the message. But if you're a newbie who's using TikTok, trying to generate business by looking like I think it's sort of deception. I mean, if you're trying to look like a celebrity real estate agent and you're deceiving the average consumer
Yeah.
by letting them believe that you have all the experience in the world, where you might only have 3 homes sold.
Yeah.
Now, do I believe that, you know, you should sell 15 homes a year to be a real estate agent? Yes.
Mhm.
I think you are not providing a true service to a consumer if you're not doing, you know, at least 12 to 15 homes a year.
Yep.
You don't have the experience to think outside the box. I don't think there should be part-time agents. I think you need to be all in, and you need to, you know, be experienced to provide a quality value and service to consumers, or else you're just, you know, like right now it's the wild, wild west. It's like real estate right now is the wild, wild
Which
west.
is great
I mean,
for you. It's always the wild
Bro,
west for
bro,
you.
bro.
It's always the wild west
listen
for
to
you.
this. Listen to this. I was on Instagram the other day, and this guy posts on his Instagram, just closed another deal for my clients. I look at I messaged you guy. I was like, bro, you don't have clients. You're not a licensed agent. All you have right now is a couple of felonies because you're providing real estate services without a license.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these wholesalers and investors and it's a wild, wild west right now.
It can be scary for a consumer if
For
they don't
100%.
realize it. And that's
And don't get me wrong. I've gotten my fair share of trouble. I've gotten in trouble with the state. You know, things like that. I mean, there was a deal that went sideways that probably shouldn't have, and you know what? We learned from it. But I did enough transactions and enough business where I could come back and learn from those type of mistakes and things like that. Or if it's a person doing 1-2 deals, they can ruin somebody's whole life, lose all their savings if they do it the wrong way.
big time, especially on the buyer side. And that's one of the things I think that can be scary about the commission lawsuit and the buyer representation, which Minnesota's always had fantastic disclosure as far as compensation is concerned, both at the state and the broker level. But there was 36 other states throughout the U.S. that didn't disclose what the compensation was.
That's
for the buyer.
bullshit. It's bullshit. You want to know why we have that stupid
Why
lawsuit?
is that?
That stupid lawsuit is because you've got 1 million agents. Every time they sell a house, go on Facebook, post a picture that says, just sold, offer just accepted, house on the market 24 hours and have 36 offers. That's why we eliminated all of our value proposition
True.
by doing that. Why would anybody want to pay commission if all you have to do is put a house on the MLS, take photos for $400 or $500,
Mm-hmm.
and you get 36 offers? You know?
It's changed now. Right?
Well, I mean, and then go post about it,
Yep.
you know, and say, hey, sold in 36 offers in 24 hours. You know, yeah, you're gonna diminish our value proposition.
Big time.
You know, where's the value? Where's your expertise?
You're going to see it in the second half of 2024.
And we're losing a lot of great agents already. And it's because, and I don't even think it's about the commission thing. That's not going to change. The commission lawsuit is not going to change.
No.
All it is you're just going to have to negotiate it into a purchase agreement and disclose it.
Yeah.
Now, who it is going to hurt are those those first-time home buyers
Yep.
who are in multiple offers
Where the money's tighter.
where the money's tighter and there's 30 offers. You know, and fortunately for me, I'm not doing that. You know,
True.
And-
I'm in those weeds.
so real estate agents, here's your advice: you want to work around this whole commission lawsuit BS. Find off-market deals. Work off of the MLS. If you're living on the MLS, you've got 6 months left. Honest to God, if you are living on the MLS, you've got 6 months left. Any buyer can go on a MLS. Any buyer can go on a MLS, find a $500,000 house that they want to buy. Should that agent get $15,000 commission for opening a door and filling out a purchase agreement and setting up a couple of showings?
But I'd argue buyers should have more representation,
Absolutely.
arguably, than sellers.
100%.
Because once you close on that house, if the title wasn't transferred correctly, if there wasn't an inspection, if the financing wasn't right, whatever
Buyers
else.
agents should get paid more than listing agents.
Mhm.
100%. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And,
I agree.
and it's flipping. So that's one of the, I think, the dangerous things about this lawsuit, where there's going to be a lot of unrepresented buyers.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of list agents that are doing both sides of the deal,
Yep.
which means that they have the seller with their best interest in mind. So they might be, hiding certain things, or might be towing the line as far as ethics are concerned. I think the top agents are going to pick up more market share because there's going to be more agents that are dropping out. I think there's going to be more open houses, and thus unrepresented buyers coming in and having dual agency. An open house is when you have a listing and then you set a time. I'm explaining this to you. Since you have tradition.
Yes. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm listening.
There's going to be less new agents, but one of the interesting things that a lot of people don't realize is the
Let
national.
me stop you real quick.
What's that?
Do you think they should raise the entry, the barrier to entry
Yeah.
for real estate,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Because there's a lot of ding dongs that get in because of what happens on social media is you sell a $400,000 house, you get a commission check for XYZ, and you think it's easy.
Once again, whose fault is that?
It's mine, 'cause I post about it.
The celebrity real estate agent.
Yeah.
The celebrity real estate agent is what's causing everything, all of this.
Yeah.
It's the increase in real estate agents. It's the commission structures. It's everything.
But a shift in the market changes that.
Yeah. Do you see a real estate agent say, "Hey, I just settled a $100 million transaction. I'm going to, or a lawsuit. And I'm going to go cash my $30 million check."
No.
Do they post that on social media?
The attorneys.
Not really. No. You know, you might read about it in the paper,
Yeah.
but you don't see it. Any of these big law firms say, "Hey,
No, they all retired. That's why. Off of this
but
freaking
it's the
lawsuit.
same thing." All right, a surgeon. You can see a surgeon say, "Hey, I just performed open heart surgery. I just got $1 million from the insurance company. I'm going to the Bahamas."
That's hip hop.
Well, still. But do you get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
why do we have to do it? Especially at a time like in the last couple of years, when you've got families who are trying to figure out how they're going to make their car payment, how they're going to pay for little Timmy's baseball practices, how they're going to, take the kids to Disneyland on that vacation they promised. And you got us bozos saying, "Hey, close 4 deals in a week, and probably gonna make 40 grand this week, and I might go look at a new G-Wagon."
You know why I do it?
I'm guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it.
No, I do
But-
it just to get you riled up.
Hey.
Actually, it's one of the main reasons.
But hey, but it's
But I also do a lot of education on
I
it.
love
And
it. I
and
love
I
it.
think, let me cut you off here for a second because I think experienced real estate agents, one, and that's the reason why I call you on a regular basis too, because when I have a question about a deal that I haven't done before, and I'll do 35 to 45 deals a year, and I still have questions every single day about transactions that I have
Yeah.
going on. I think it's important to have agents that you can reach out to, not only to collaborate and commiserate, but to figure out these deals, because there's every single day there's a new thing that pops up on one of these transactions. So if you're part-time, it's a disservice to your clients because you're just not going to be able to figure these things
Yeah.
out. Neither the deals are going to fall apart, or you're going to go through with the deal, which I have a client right now that he went through a deal where he's selling his house and didn't do an inspection when he originally bought it, and it's a mess.
yeah. And that's the difference with a quality real estate agent. They have that network. They have that support team. They know where to go to get questioned and answered. Resource. I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Go ask your broker. Go ask your broker." Well, if you got a broker who's managing 300 to 400 agents, they might not be able to, help you out. Or go to your broker's attorney. I mean, we should be able to answer questions for colleagues, for other agents, to help them out.
Yep. And I'm always open for that. You are too.
That's
You may not seem as approachable, but to the audience, he is.
Hey.
Here's a nugget, and for the agent media guys, do you know, since you used to work on Capitol Hill, do you know who the #1 most powerful lobbying group in the United States is?
NAR.
National Association of Realtors,
Yep.
or NAR. So with this commission lawsuit and brokerages potentially dropping out of NAR, or there's less agents in the industry, so there's less dues being paid, which means there's less power that NAR has. What happens when NAR is no longer has the lobbying power that they've had for a long, long
But what
time?
have they done?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, fair housing and everything like that, phenomenal, great, but I think on the aspect of NAR for the consumer, fantastic.
Mhm.
NAR for the industry and agents, terrible.
Yep.
I think NAR's done great for the consumer. I mean, with fair housing rights and all these other different, issues when it comes to, steering, redlining, things like that. They do a phenomenal job on protecting the consumer.
Yep. So then who takes over? Does Zillow get to a point where they can be the overall, you know, kind of essentially the Supreme Court
Well,
of real estate?
I don't, so this should lead into where the industry is going.
Yep.
I think the industry is gonna go into more of an AI approach. Now, I think there's still gonna be there's gonna be tons of agents. We're gonna have great quality agents who know how to weather the storm. And you know how you weather the storm? You bring value.
1,000%.
You bring value.
There's no other way.
I mean, again, if you're just one of those agents who's just living on the MLS, waiting for one of your buyers to call you and say, hey, I just bought a house, let's go look at it. Those days are done.
And one thing that I'll say is if you're bringing value and you have a personal brand, which you do, because I would imagine maybe 5 or 10% of the people on social media right now know what brokerage you're paying your license with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Coldwell Banker, but, and it's, you know, and you shouldn't say that too loud because everybody should know it now. Department of Commerce is coming after you for saying that.
I'm just saying.
I tell everybody that.
Dude,
that's what agency relationship is for, buddy.
I understand, but do people on social media know that?
Yeah, I put it on all my branding. All my branding it has to have.
I thought you were going to get you.
No, I will get fines for upsetting agents.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So second half of 2024, what do you see?
So here's what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of agents with commission breath. Well, commission breath is so desperate to close that next deal, trying to get that next commission. You know, and we
pushing things forward that shouldn't.
Correct. You know, probably selling homes to buyers that shouldn't be sold, and it's because it's going to get very tight.
Yep.
It's going to be very tight. You're ready to see it. There's lots of agents walking away from the industry
that are getting second jobs and trying to hang on.
As a buyer, because as a buyer, you're going to see this the most. One recommendation I would make to buyers out there: do not sign a buyer representation agreement until you sign a purchase agreement. Okay? Do not sign a buyer representation
Which is
agreement.
necessary.
Which is necessary, but don't sign it until you sign a purchase agreement. One, you're locking yourself down to an agent who you don't know yet can get your job done. I mean,
so more like commercial real estate.
Exactly. I mean, you've got investors.
Where it's open.
I have investors who tell me and say, hey, we're working with 5 other realtors.
And you find me the deal.
You find me the deal, I go with you, but I'm working with 5 other realtors. That's how it should be for the regular consumer as well. You know, keep your options open.
Do the work.
One agent's gonna be better than the other. Put your feelers out there. Say, hey, I'm looking for a 5-bedroom, 3-bedroom house in Wayzata. This is what I'm looking for. The first agent that brings me the house that I want, we're writing the offer on that house, and that's who I'm using, and that's who's gonna get the purchase. You know.
And you're gonna negotiate the compensation accordingly.
And the compensation should. I mean, if it's a house that's on the market for more than 10 days, more than likely the seller's gonna be paying that compensation. If it's a house that's on the market 36 hours with 42 offers, a buyer's gonna have to more than likely pay that.
Totally.
You know, but if you're an agent who brings value and you find that house off market for that buyer has time to think, they have time to do inspections, you can negotiate the compensation. That's why off market is key. And that's why off market's key. And that's why NAR and MAR and SPAR all got together and came up with this clear cooperation thing to try to keep weaker agents in the industry to pay association fees. They don't care how many homes we sell.
Nope.
They want our associations. They want the $141 every quarter, and they want the $595 a month, a year, or whatever it is. That's what the associations want from realtors. So they came up with clear cooperation to build a level playing field for agents, when really all they did is give the weaker agents that don't build out their technology, that don't build out their own networks, social networks, their database, they gave them a lifeline. You know, to try, you know, be on an even level playing field with all these other agents who have spent thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in years building up a business. Where if you called me and said, hey, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom 2-bathroom house in Brooklyn Center for 250 grand. I know one off market today that I can sell.
There you go.
Do you get what I'm saying? If you say, hey, I know the house in St. Cloud for $110,000, I got one today, off market.
That's where a lot of the upper bracket works, especially like Minnetonka.
And that's how real estate used to work before the internet. And that's where the higher commission rates came into play. Is because you didn't have that unless you didn't have navigation.
So it got commoditized when everything went online and it was all.
And that's exactly. And now the commissions structure and everything's catching up with that.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to, and knock on wood,
Microphone picks up all that. But
knock on wood. I hope I bring enough value where I'm going to be able to survive this and say, hey, I've done, like I said, 75% of my deals are off market, and my clients love it, my investors love it, even my traditional buyers and sellers love it. It's because it works. It works. For some reason, the associations don't love it, and I told you why. Now that's where I'm going to get the fines. Because I'm making disparaging remarks.
yeah. So what's the over under on the fine that you may garner today?
Hopefully it's under $1,000.
Are we gonna bet on this?
No, I don't. Dude.
Can you bet on a fine? Is that a fine?
Well, here's the deal, man. Like seriously though, I know the associations do have some. They do some good.
Yeah.
But
Some. Not
when you start implementing stuff like clear cooperation, I think it's bullshit. How can you tell a homeowner?
Tell the audience what clear cooperation.
Clear cooperation means that if you sign a listing contract with an agent,
with the brokerage,
you are not allowed to show your house until the house goes on the market.
You cannot market it.
You can't market it. You can't show it. That agent can't put it on Facebook. That agent can't send it out to his database through the email. They can't do anything to market your home until 48 hours before it goes on the market.
Handcuffed and it hurts smaller brokerages.
Yep.
Because you can market it within.
I can market it within my brokerage.
But if you're in a brokerage of 5 people, that is what you're limited to.
Yeah.
Right. So how many agents are in your brokerage?
I would say, within all the Coldwell Baker brokerages, I think there's probably 1,000. So it's
And
like
there's 150 that subgroups,
Yeah.
which what people don't realize. So I'm limited based on clear cooperation, which means it limits the marketing ability and the value that sellers could potentially get for them.
And with clear cooperation, I mean, how can an association tell a homeowner how they can't sell their own home? How?
Yeah.
If you come to me and say, hey, look, here's an offer for $50,000 over asking, I should be able to say, hey, walk right in and take a look at the house, do whatever you want. My client wants me to sell it off market.
Yeah.
Clear cooperation, they won't allow that.
Nope.
And that's why,
You get fined.
You get fined. And
It's
a
$1,000.
real estate agent gets fined for marketing your property
Before it's on MLS.
before it's on the MLS.
Media company doesn't.
Media companies
Your
don't.
media company doesn't get fined.
So elaborate on that. What's your angle here? I know what it is, but
I'm not a licensed real estate agent, nor is anyone that works for me, and we sell photography, not houses.
So I can send you my listing, and you can post it for me.
We may or may not have an entire system of all the properties we've shot that are pre-market. We know it comes to market before you guys do.
See? But a homeowner and seller can't do that. So that's
Jake can.
now. You learn something new every day. Did I not say that?
I knew that.
I just learned that. That's awesome. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
So
You know who bought Ario, which is the back end that houses all of Jay's media content?
who? Did they?
Yeah, they own Showing Time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's this data play, right? So where people say that, well, we're not going to pay for Zillow leads because buyers agents aren't going to get compensated. Zillow is not gonna, they're gonna lose a bunch of money. I'm like, that'd be like saying Amazon, like they lost $1 billion.
In
It's
2000,
not gonna go down. They're just gonna pivot. They have all the data.
in 2013, I have the email, or 2014, I have the emails and everything to prove this. In 2014, I was supposed to fly out to New York City to meet with the CEO of a larger multinational real estate company about pitching a proposal to build an AI, or not AI system, but an all-in-one direct buyer to seller system, where it would be the Airbnb, LegalZoom, showing time, transaction desk, all in one. Essentially what it would do is, it'd be a Zillow type website, buyer sees a house, they click, I want to see this house showing time, it goes to the seller says, sure, come on in at 7:30 on Friday. They go look at it, the buyer can then go onto the site, pull up all the auto-populated documents, type up the offer, like what we're seeing with AI now.
Yep.
And then once that out, and then the buyer and seller would go into a negotiation where they could go back and forth negotiating. Everything is tracked, and then after both parties click and sign, then it goes into the transaction desk portion. From there, you invite your title company to the transaction, you invite your lender to the transaction,
An attorney.
you invite your attorney to the transaction, and everything would be done in this one system. I always call it the Zillow, LegalZoom, Airbnb, like of real
One-stop
estate.
shop.
One-stop
So why
shop.
doesn't that work? Like,
Well,
why wouldn't you do that now?
One, you'd have to be a broker in all 50 states. And two, you would have, I mean, if I was the CEO of Zillow, I would have done this 3 years ago. I would have bought up every asset possible to build this. I would have bought up LegalZoom and have LegalZoom auto-populate the contracts for all 50 states. I would have built their bot showing time, so maybe that's what they're going to try doing with that. You know, I would, and you know, if there's an added revenue play there too. Say it's a seller who wants to market their home. Well, they would get advertisements from agent media. They'd get advertisements from other photo companies.
There aren't any.
Yeah, well, no, neither. But you
There
get what I'm
are new
saying?
ones.
You'd get ads from insurance companies, things like that. So I don't understand why. I skipped the flight. I didn't go. Probably could have been life changing. I could probably be.
I know a local musician.
I could probably be A-Rod right now trying to buy the Timberwolves.
You would have spent it all.
That's a casino.
You would just have more. You'd be dead, actually, probably.
Do you think you can spend $1 billion? Like, just on fun?
Hanging out with you?
Jeez.
Yeah.
10 years. I think 7 years.
All right. Rates and inflation.
All right.
Where's it going?
Rates.
How are we doing? How are we doing for time?
You're at 2 o'clock on the dot.
And any Q&A? That's next, because I know people have been waiting a full hour for rates and inflation.
Rates and inflation.
More comments than questions, so
Yeah.
you're not missing much.
All right. Rates and
Take
inflation.
your pen now. It picks up all those.
Exactly. Rates and inflation.
He's been driving. He's been eating them
Just
all.
throw me the pen. Throw it over here.
Nervous stick.
Honestly, I did a video in, I think it was February, where I said, or no, I think it was November. I did a video in November where I told consumers to stay calm. Rates are going to gain the 5.5% rate by April. And at one point, our trajectory was that way. I mean, I think we got into the low 6s, high 5s.
Yep.
At one time,
Where was it lit? It's like January.
it's January or February. We're close. But now, I mean, as long as we stay in this high 6s, low 7s, I think it's just consumers are gonna get used to it. It's just like everything. Just like when we saw gas prices go from 75 cents to $3.75, we just get used to it.
Let me kind of peer into the crystal ball. Every 4 years, we head into an election.
Yep.
If rates are this high and gas prices are this high, the incumbents are going to get
Yeah.
boat race.
I think.
So I think sometime, regardless of what the inflationary numbers are, regardless of unemployment numbers, regardless of Russia and Ukraine, regardless of all those things, gas prices and mortgage interest rates are going to come down miraculously
The difference.
prior to
The
election.
difference with interest rates and stuff, it's more of a fiscal cost. And
Sure.
it's
And
all
Powell
run-
doesn't care
And it's all run
about
by the
right or
treasury.
left.
Unless Congress and Senate and the president say, hey, let's inject the economy with $10 trillion and everybody gets
Again.
$600 a week. That's where we see this 2-3% rates again. But right now, they're tightening on liquidity. You know, they're done buying bonds. Lending standards are going to get tighter until we start seeing those rates and liquidity get injected back into the markets.
Mhm.
You know, so that's I personally, I should say, I personally believe, you know, if we get to 5% rates, it's going to get crazy. When I say rates, I mean mortgage rates.
Yeah.
If we get to about 5% mortgage rates, I think the market is going to go bonkers. Those bozos we were talking about who weren't,
You're going to come back in.
they're going to come back in the industry because everybody's going to be buying again. But it's still, I mean,
But another thing that happens going into election is all the negative rhetoric, and we have two such polar opposites with Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
Likely they're the two,
hey,
right?
why not RFK? RFK's stealing some. I mean, he's getting votes. I mean, do not
So he's gonna
do not
take
count
votes from one or
RFK
the
out.
other.
And I'm not leaning anyone which way what. I'm just saying, don't count out a third party candidate.
That's fair,
Like
but there's still
RFK.
going to be a ton of negative rhetoric, and what that leads to is people pulling back on major purchases because of uncertainty, political uncertainty. So as we go into, I think after Labor Day, that the U.S. housing market and people buying cars and vacations and whatever else and fancy watches, and I think that's going to pull back until after the results of the election. We get through the holidays, and then spring 2025, things are going to be flying again. And I think that's just cyclical every 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's going to be even worse with the mudslinging back and forth. So
I mean,
that's
besides-
my prediction.
Besides my, not besides, I mean, including my stints doing mortgages in 2006, 2007, 2008, and my 10 years in real estate, I've been in the industry for 3-4 elections now. I truly believe, if you're counting on rates going down just because it's an election year, don't.
I'm
Yeah.
not counting on, that's my prediction.
If I'm a buyer, I'm not going and spending, you know, I'm not going and getting a multiple offer situation on a property unless I have to. My investors are always calling me. I mean, 3 of my investor clients are some of the largest realtors in the state. They say, hey, we're always buying as long as the deal is right.
Yeah.
Buyers should take that mentality as well. Buy if the deal is right. Don't orient yourself into a $900,000 house in Wayzata unless the deal is right. Unless, you know, don't go into a situation where, you know, into 15 offers unless it's that one of a kind house or unless the numbers work. If the house is 10-15% back of, you know, market value, that makes up for the higher interest rates.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
So-
yeah, exactly. So to wrap up, 2 things.
Yeah.
If you get an offer sheet to host a weekly podcast after this, would you do it? And what would the number have to be?
I'm going to say the same thing I tell all these brokers who call me recruiting or sending me text messages.
Mhm.
Hey, will you meet with so-and-so? Hey, will you meet with so-and-so? You give me a $500,000 signing bonus, I will meet with whoever.
That's your number.
500 grand? Shit.
Weekly podcast, 500K,
Hey,
52 weeks a year.
listen,
And
if
it's
Joe
gonna
Rogan,
be,
if,
it's going to be called the I Hate Podcast.
if Joe Rogan can go get $90 million, why can't I get 500 grand?
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Last question.
Yeah, so.
what's your favorite Chino Latino story?
I bet you're going to tell the story about the chorizo.
No.
I mean, I've had some great times with Chino Latino. Great times.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. What made Chino Latino different than any other establishment that you've been to in the last
Because
15 or 20 years of going out in the Twin Cities?
Chino Latino was amazing because you had two entirely different vibes all in one roof. Like you had the fancy restaurant entertainment part where, you know, that's where you went for anniversaries, proms, things like that. But then they had this little bar and little like restaurant area, and it felt like Cheers because every time you walked in, everybody knew your name.
And it was the same people working for years and years and years.
Yeah, and that's why I love Chino. I loved Chino. I mean, but I loved all those places. You know,
But that's the one that people miss the most.
and I don't know if you've checked out Mito in Roseville. It's got that Chino vibe, but still, it's not the same. You know, I think, you know, once we get Uptown going again, I truly believe there'll be a revival of Chino Latino.
So last question, how many years until Uptown's revived?
3 years. 3 years.
You
Hey, I
heard it
live in
here.
Uptown. I own a house in Uptown.
Yeah.
I have an 1887 row home right across the street from the
It's beautiful.
Minneapolis Institute of Art. I bought that place because it reminded me of the place I lived in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I love Uptown. I really hope Uptown, and you know, and I think, you know, especially Nicollet Avenue, once they expand that through now that Kmart's gone,
Yep.
I think all of that, and it's going to help Glendale, it's going to help Hennepin, it's going to help Nicollet. I think we're.
3 to 4 years.
I'm bullish. I'm
Yeah.
bullish on Uptown.
I like it. You heard it here first.
All right, Wally.
That's a wrap. First and last.
I'm sorry.
Unless
if
you
I-
get that $500,000 check.
I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't go as off the rails as I was.
I think you're
hoping to,
safe.
but-
I think you're safe. I'm going to take the under 5.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey.
Agent Media, appreciate hosting.
Go
This
Wolves.
was fantastic, and I'm going to do a GoFundMe page to get that $500,000 so we have Hatham back on episode 2 of I Hate Podcast.
We'll produce, we'll play Barstool to his podcast.
Love
No,
it. Thanks, guys.
oh.
Yeah, this hit back.